I woke up quite a bit earlier than I needed to, so I have some downtime before I have to leave for the airport. I've got a 3-day trip laying over in Raleigh, Durham and Savannah, Georgia, and I'm very excited. I actually traded into this one because I have always wanted to go to Savannah, heard the best things about it, and I've been trying to get a Savannah overnight for like a year and a half. And it was never possible at my previous airline, but now I got a trip. For day one, today is our longest day. We've got 3 legs and one of them stops through Miami, which is always a little bit humbling. Our day 2 is very light for flying, and then our day 3 is not terrible. So overall, I'm really looking forward to the trip, and I'm really looking forward to the overnights because I've been to Raleigh before, but haven't spent time in their downtown. I haven't really explored, so that'll be a new endeavor for me too. I finished my book last night, which was Theo of Golden, which did in fact make me burst into tears. I heard very mixed things about that book. I saw a passenger reading and I was like, oh, I'm starting that book right now. What do you think of it? And she was like, honestly, super disappointing. I enjoyed reading it, so I don't know, maybe I'm just not critical enough. Or maybe that just wasn't her taste in terms of genre, but I liked it. And I think I have 9 other books downloaded on my Kindle right now to choose from, so I'm gonna have to make a decision what I feel like reading. Cool, so we're blocked for just about 4 hours. It's gonna be a long flight, but I'm starting a new book, so it'll go pretty quick, and this matcha will caffeinate me. I'm gonna go finish getting ready, do my makeup. I'm listening to Obviously You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. I'm also listening to Everyone for 10 Minutes, which is the Bleachers album. And I've been listening to Joe and Tame Impala's set list because I'm going to the Tame Impala concert where Joe is opening in August with one of my friends. So that's what we'll be playing while I get ready. All right, I finished getting ready and I'm gonna pack up my suitcase, my cooler, hop in the car, and prepare for a very long day of flying. Good morning, this is my outfit for today. The shoes are American Eagle, Cezanne, Paloma Vintage in Nashville. One thing about me is I will always find a coffee shop to journal and read, and most importantly, people watch. It gives me immediately a really good sense of whatever city I'm in. After spending quite a while here, I decided to walk around Raleigh, and I saw the Capitol building and just enjoyed the weather. Before it got too hot, it ended up being quite a muggy day. I was really impressed with the sights, and especially these little town squares that they had every couple of blocks. It was the perfect place to sit and read, be in the shade, cool off, and just relax while taking the city on foot. One of my other favorite things to look for in any given city is a bookstore, so obviously I had to stop into one, adding a couple things to my list. And then I began quite the trek over to a bakery that I was interested in. It was not necessarily close and walkable, but it was possible. I always like to ask whoever's working in whatever establishment what their favorite thing is, what they recommend, and I was not led astray with this blueberry pastry. I ended up reading here for quite a while, and I actually ended up talking to the stranger next to me about the book that I had just finished. I love to look up vintage stores wherever I'm at, although I rarely have room to bring home anything in my luggage. And I also can't resist a record shop, even though I don't own a record player. Maybe one day. I made it back to the hotel and I got pretty gross and sweaty on the walk because it's quite humid outside, but it was really nice. So I think I'm gonna jump in the shower. I think I need to wash my hair and dry it, but I have 2 hours before we lobby, so I have plenty of time. I'll probably just hang out, rest, recoup before the flying that I have later today. This will be our shortest day though, so that's good. I didn't do too much walking on a really work heavy day. I think getting an Uber to the downtown is so worth it here. I mean, I don't know what's around this hotel, but the downtown area was great. There was a lot close together, and there were lots of little parks and places to sit and cool off a little bit. Also, I'm probably gonna eat and then probably keep reading. I don't know. I've been trying not to go on my phone as much. I worked a red eye last weekend, and in order to stay awake, I was just scrolling on my phone the whole flight, which is so bad. I really try not to do that. I either try not to connect to the Wi-Fi at all, or if I do, I delete social media off my phone. That being said, on a red eye, for the sake of staying awake, sometimes you just need the blue light and the mindless scrolling, which is terrible. And anyway, my screen time was way too high, so I'm detoxing, and I actually finished The Call of the Wild when I was at the bakery I was at, and now I'm reading White Fang because the book that I checked out from the library was both of those books combined, so I need to read White Fang now. When I was in the bakery, I started talking to the guy next to me, or rather, he started talking to me, asking what I was reading, and then we got on this whole bookish conversation. And it's so funny to me because I hated reading when I was a kid. Like, I wasn't indifferent to it, I actively opposed it, and I just couldn't sit still long enough. I found it so boring. And now I read so much. I think a huge part of that is my job, but then I think I started really reading more in 2022 or something like that, maybe 2021. And like, that's not that long ago, and it's a little bit embarrassing, all of the things that I have not read that people grew up on and feel so nostalgic about. But I'm playing a little bit of a game of catch up, but it is so fun to have a conversation with someone else who likes to read, even if you read totally different genres, because you can bond over the books that you have both read. You can recommend books to one another, and I also just feel like it's a great way to bridge the gap between different generations too, because I end up talking to so many people quite a bit older than me about books, and they have so many recommendations based on what I share that I enjoy, and it's so much fun. And I also love talking to strangers, and half the time when I go into a place in any given city, I ask whoever's working there, what do you recommend? What's your favorite thing? And I try to be influenced by a local if I can. Obviously it doesn't happen every time, and I am a tourist in all these cities, so I do all the touristy things too. But if I can get a local's favorite for something, I definitely aim for that. Obviously, that would be the ideal. And yeah, just conversations with strangers are so pleasant. It definitely happens more in the South, obviously, than the Northeast, for example. It depends on the culture of the city that you're in, but I love talking to somebody new, especially somebody with more years and more wisdom than me. It's so nice. I was talking with one of my friends from training about crews and how that can kind of make or break a trip, and also about layovers, because I was saying how my trips recently this month, the ones that I've picked up, I picked up for the layover, and I've had so much fun either visiting friends or exploring the cities on my working days that I feel like it's a day off even though it's not. Made it to Savannah. Unfortunately, we took a maintenance delay on our last leg, so we're here quite a bit later than we were supposed to be, but this is one of the best hotels I've ever been in. So I'm about to go downstairs and meet my crew in the lobby, and we're gonna hang out for a little bit before heading to bed. I was already really excited about this layover because I've just heard great things about Savannah, and I love a walkable city. That's kind of my baseline criteria for what kind of layovers I really enjoy. And I also just got really lucky with my crew. They're so great. Anyway, as of right now, I'm going to shower, I'm gonna hop in bed, and I'm gonna fall fast asleep. And I think I'm gonna sleep really well because Today was supposed to be easy, but it ended up being pretty draining, which I feel like is always typical. Whatever you expect, the opposite happens. So I think I earned a good night's sleep today. Good morning. I slept so well, and I slept for like 9 hours, so I'm feeling great. I am pretty much ready now to head out to a coffee shop. My outfit is very basic. I've got American Eagle shoes, COS pants. This tank top is from Zara. My red bag, my headscarf that one of my friends gave me from Spain. It's like in the city that I want to explore the most. I also want to stay in the hotel the most. This is literally the nicest place ever. But it's time to go outside, especially before it gets too hot because it's supposed to be a really humid one today. I got an early start walking around Savannah and obviously decided to head to a coffee shop. I'm pretty much always on my own, so there is something really nice about being in a place that's public and social, and I can hear people around me having conversations. Even though I'm usually operating by myself, it helps me to feel a little bit more connected to the world around me. Savannah can be summed up in one word: charming. Everything about it is beautiful. Everything was designed to be walkable, the architecture, and even walking without a purpose and without an end goal in mind, I enjoyed every step I took. Though I did start overheating at one point, so I spent quite a while browsing around this French-inspired store. It was beautiful. Not to mention great relief from the heat. I started heading in the direction of Forsyth Park, and this moss hanging from the trees is so nostalgic to me. It reminds me of my summers in Charleston growing up. I walked through a historic district and then made it to the very, very beautiful park that took my breath away, honestly. There was live music, there were local artists, and I just felt like there was so much culture happening. And this was a random weekday. I don't even think there was any occasion. I think this is just the nature of Savannah. I did in fact start overheating, so I stopped in the shade to read for a little bit and catch my breath. I just feel like Savannah was set up to enjoy on foot. Again, in desperation to escape the heat, I stopped into Asher and Rye. I really liked this place. It was pretty cool. It also had a cafe attached. Started my trek back to the hotel and walked along the river, which I wish I had spent a little bit more time doing. I have pit stopped back at the hotel. I am so sweaty and gross. I'm definitely gonna need to make sure I allot time for a shower before we go to work. I mostly came back to get water, but I also started getting rained on, so I'm gonna grab my umbrella too, and also my camera I forgot to bring with me today. I really wanted to go into St. John's Basilica, but unfortunately I missed my opportunity, so I ended up touring the Green Meldrum Mansion next door, and I highly recommend it. It gave me so much perspective and context for Savannah as a whole. Okay, I'm back at the hotel once again. I'm gonna get in a cold shower and then get ready for work. I feel like a new person. I washed and dried my hair. I'm in uniform. I still have 15 minutes to spare. This was such a good layover, and I really do need to come back on my own time, see all the tours, get all the history, because I mean, I loved walking around, but that last tour was like my favorite part. That was so interesting. Today we only have 2 legs home, but we're stopping through Houston and there's a tropical storm forming, so all of us are a little skeptical with how today's gonna go. I have no idea what to expect, but hopefully it's easy and our flights go as scheduled. I'm getting back not super late tonight, but definitely in the evening. This has really, truly, easily been one of my favorite layovers. So now I know what to say whenever people ask me that question, because usually my go-to answer is Charleston, which I do love Charleston. However, I've got something else to add to the list because this was amazing. Even though I was melting out there. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. Anyway, it's time to fly.
The same, like when we try something. Yeah. I'm curious, so thank you.
Okay, I'm back home. I'm just coming on to say thank you for watching. I go right into another 3-day tomorrow, so I've got to do laundry tonight, and then in the morning I'll have to pack my food, restock my toiletries, all that kind of stuff. And I'm exhausted from this trip, but it was so much fun and I loved these layovers, so thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.